Hello everyone, so today we are going to be doing another Data Life deck profile, and this time we're going to be playing with the new Kurumi Choice Finisher combo along with the level 1 Toka book. So we're playing 4 choice, 4 book. The Data Bullet set actually came out a while ago, but I didn't get my cards until recently, so I haven't tested a whole lot, but I've been playing the deck and it's been really fun, so I just wanted to share my build. Now, before the set came out, actually, I was thinking that it'll be best to play 8 choice with the Kotori level 1 combo. But after playing the deck, I think the book is better. And the reason I say that is because while this combo can be a +2, this combo can give you pluses even if you have a full hand. And I'll explain that as we get through the deck profile later. Alright. So, let's start off with the level 0 cards. So for level 0, first up, we are playing four runners. I'm playing 2 and 2, so 2 of the origami. It's 3k can't side and it's an intercept, so not quite a runner, but serves basically the same purpose. And 2 of the Yoshino runners. Depends on your preference. I really like this card because it can be really powerful and block off your opponent, but there are some matchups where this is bad in. And this can spike to a really high power on turn. So I'd say play around, see what you like. Depends on what decks you're playing against, what your local meta is like, and make a decision that way. But just 4 runners to get advantage turn 1. And then next in the deck, we have 3 of the Kurumi Global 5s from the first Daily Life set. So this card's like pretty broken in the deck because of how much utility it provides. Also, being a global 5 makes a lot of your bodies really, really annoying. Like for example, if you open the origami plus this becomes 3/5 and it becomes really difficult to get over. And what this does is this helps you with all the clock manipulation effects in your deck. So you can rest it to put 2 cards from your waiting room, or it has to be date or spear characters from your waiting room to the bottom of your clock. And then if you do that during the end of the turn, you can heal 2. Or you can rest it to send 2 cards from your clock to memory, and during the Encore phase, they come back. So this just helps you manipulate your clock. Sometimes it can help you not die to deck out if you're at 3/6 and you're about to refresh. So just really, really strong. I'll explain more of the uses later. Next, 2 clean cuts. So this is what allows this deck to play aggressive at level 0. I think it's pretty strong profile to play with. I would play more if I had room, but I'm a bit tight on space. 2 plussing brainstorms. You actually don't really need brainstorms in this deck, so that's why I'm only playing 2. Sometimes the mill is nice, and obviously the plus can help early on, but this deck's hand fixing engine is really strong, so you don't need to really play more brainstorms. It's not that necessary compared to other decks. And then we're playing 2 Ricky. So you could play 3 or 4 of the Ricky, but I've been pretty comfortable with 2 because of several reasons. One is I don't always feel the need to hit level 1 first, because even if your opponent hits 1 first, this deck's combo has a very high power benchmark, and you can swing over most level 1 fields, even standby boards. And another thing is you can actually use this card to force level yourself up if you're stuck at 0. So for example, you're at 0/6 after clocking, you don't know, and you don't have your Ricky. Well, what you can do with this is you can use it to take 2 damage, force yourself to level up. And then we actually play a level 1 Ricky in the deck, so you can get another plus off this, and you'll be at 1-2, and you get to heal 2 during your encore phase. So this basically functions the same as what this does. Like this, obviously this can help you search your level 1 combo, but this is another card that helps you get out of being stuck at 0. So I don't feel like I really need more Rickies. And next we're playing 2 Shido. So just to help mill through your deck sometimes, and it's a good card to play with your clean cut, right? So obviously classic combo, you can attack with this, attack with clean cut, reverse something, and then pull the Shido to the back row, and then you can use the effect next turn. Instead of the Shido, actually you can maybe play the new green Sawa. Let me find it. So you can actually play this card. So the advantage this has over the Shido is it's 2/5 power, so it's 1k higher, and a lot of times if you throw this out turn 1, it can actually survive, or your opponent's like crashing something into it. And it gives you memory compression compared to Shido. The only difference is Shido obviously has the on-play blink effect, so it depends on, again, what your local metagame is, what you're playing against, if the blink is relevant or not. If the blink is relevant, then Shido's better. If not, then Sawa might be a better option. And then just the last 2 utility 0 cards we're playing 1 Yoshino Drop Search. I would say probably play the Kotori Drop Salvage instead. It's just a better card, but all my Drop Salvages are in my standby deck, so I'm just using this as an extra. And then we're playing one of the CX Swapper Origami, because this deck does have trouble drawing to your climaxes sometimes, so this just helps with the consistency. And then moving on to level 1. So our main level 1, the level 1 Toka combo. So the reason why I'd say this feels better to play than the Kotori level 1 combo is because of how much power it hits. So the standard back row for this deck, what you want to generally set up is to have one of this, and then this as well. So it would be like so if you have 3 combo, right, you can have this and 3 combo, and this hits 8k power on turn and 7.5 power off turn, and that's a really high power benchmark. 8k lets you swing over level 1 standby bodies, and they need a backup to protect their 1/1s. And actually, I don't think a lot of standby lists are playing all that many level 1 backups at the moment, so you can most of the time safely kill standby boards, and it beats most other level 1 boards as well. And being 7/5 on defense, like I mentioned at the start of the video, lets you plus on board because these have a really high chance to live. And this deck maintains 7 cards in hand very, very easily early on in the game, because you have these, which plus at if turn 1. You have clean cuts, which let you play aggressively and also plus. And you play these Rickies. And this is also a level 1 Ricky. So maintaining 7 cards in hand early on with all these cards and your 8 plussing triggers is really easy. And if these survive, it's even more plus for the deck. So this combo has been really, really good. And since it's a top check 5, it really helps you go through your deck and get to some pretty compressed deck states, or just to get to your next refresh if you're out a lot of climaxes. And next, yeah, I keep talking about this card, but we're playing 3 of this. So this card's like pretty broken in the deck because it's a 1/0 with a soul trigger, so it works with your choice climaxes. On play, it's a Riki that searches this specific level 3. And the second effect is you can resonate with the level 3. So reveal it from your hand, and you tap it, and you can take a card in your clock, add it to hand, so any card, and then put a card from your hand back into your clock. So it enables your clock shenanigans, and it's a hand fix for free every turn. And it's also Global 5 to help you with power. And in combination with this, you can get very selective salvages, because you can use this to take some damage by choosing cards from your waiting room and putting it into your clock, and then you can use this to get the cards from clock to your hand. So pretty powerful utility combo that also gives 1k to your whole board. Next, we'll play one of the Yoshino Adachi. I'm only playing one. You could play more, but I don't think it's as good as in this deck as a standby deck, because generally your back row is full, so you don't really want to just like keep this in your back row. And it's not like you can save 2/2s or whatever like in a standby deck, although I guess maybe sometimes you can save your early plays. But most of the time I just use this, play it, and then ram it into a level 3 rather than keeping it on board. Obviously, if you're expecting to push your opponent to 2 and they're going to EP, you can preemptively play this and then use it to swap. But yeah, there's other ways to deal with EPs in this deck as well. So just playing one. 2 level 1 backups to help protect your level 1 combo. Like I said, there's 7/5 off turn, but in case your opponent has something that can get over it, usually these 2k backups just deal with whatever, because I don't think many decks are hitting past 9k power at level 1, right? So really good. Also can protect your EPs and whatnot. And next, we're playing 3 of the My Little Shido event. So I know people have not been too keen on this event recently, actually, but I think it works well with the deck. You don't always have to tap your back rows for their effects, and if you don't tap your back rows, you can play this event. It's pretty much free. You can salvage level 3s, you can remove stuff off your opponent's board, it can help you mill through the deck some more if you don't have Toka combo or whatnot. So just pretty good utility. If it's near a clock, you can grab it with the Kurumi Resonance clock swap. So pretty consistent to get to as well. Obviously, it takes up a lot of space in the deck, so if you need space for other things, don't have to play this. Next, for level 2s, playing only 3 level 2s. I kind of want to play a second copy of this. So this is a 2/1 assist 2k to level 3s, and once per turn you can rest it to put a card from waiting room to bottom or top of your clock and heal 1 during the Encore phase. It just enables your EPs and helps you hand fix as well. And it's really strong. The assist 2k to level 3s makes your EPs really big. But I've been pretty consistent getting to this, because if I draw it, I'll usually hold it. You can get it off your choice triggers, and you can get it off your level 1 combo if you check it, right? So even though I only play 1 copy, I haven't missed out on this too much. So it's been pretty okay. But if you would like to play 2, I can see why. It's a really good card in the deck. Next, we'll play 1 free fresh backup just for emergency situations. You can salvage this off your choice triggers, so it can sometimes save you in a pinch. And then I'm testing out this memory kit counter. And the reason why I'm testing this is because this deck's level 3 combo dumps a lot of stock, unlike the 8 standby Kurumi. So you can't play defensive options that well that actually cost stock, such as the green minus soul event. And even this is also 3 stock, so sometimes if you've comboed off, you can't actually use this because you don't have the stock. So this memory kit counter can stop some finishers, notably A-Choice Slime. This kind of wrecks A-Choice Slime and has some other applications as well. Also can help you remove some annoying things versus, like, for example, standby matchups. They have something with Encore, you can memory kick it and then they can't Encore it, so it can help with that. Obviously not necessary to play, you can cut this for like second copy of this or whatever else you want, but I'm playing around with it, seeing how well it works out. And then for level 3s, so 4 of the Kurumi finisher, obviously. It's both your finisher and an engine card, since you have to resonate with this for your back row to clock swap. It's an Encore phase heal on play, and climax combo with the choice trigger. On attack it gets plus 1k power, and at the end of attack you can pay 2 ditch 1 to burn equal to the level of a card in your clock plus 1. So you can choose, and it's very selective. So this finisher doesn't push for huge numbers, but the selectivity makes it very consistent, and it allows you to play reactive to how much damage you're doing, right? So if your opponent's if you hit your opponent to like 3-5, you can burn 2, don't have to burn more. If you only need 1, you can choose a 0 in your clock, burn 1, right? And all the clock manipulation this deck has, along with the Encore phase heal, makes getting cards in clock for different burn numbers really easy. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good card. And it kind of enables the non-standby day-to-day life playstyle, because otherwise you're just stuck play the old standby finisher. Next we're playing 3 of the early play. So you could play 4 of this. I think 3's been really consistent for me. It's really easy to get to, right? If you have it in your hand, if you need to clock, you can clock it and then use the EP effect. If it's in the waiting room, you can put it into your clock with your effects. If you don't clock and it's in your hand, you can put it in your clock with the 1-0 clock swap Kurumi. Yeah, and it's also really strong. If you have 2 back row, it's 10-5 power. So for example, so if you have this and then this, and one of this, right? This is 13k, so it gets really fat, really annoying for a lot of decks to get over. And then if they kill it, you know what? You just tap this, put it in your clock, and bring it out again next turn. And for those that don't know, the early play effect is Alarm. If this the top card in your clock and you have 4 other characters, you can pay 2 ditch 1 to summon this card out from your clock, take 1 damage, and then it's heal on play. So yeah, great card. You can play 4 if you want, but like I said, 3's been working out pretty good for me. And then last 2 level 3s, 1 copy of the old finisher for yellow, and 1 copy of the new stock swap level 3. So both these cards kind of serve the same purpose. What they're meant to do is they disrupt your opponent's compression. Obviously this card is good if your opponent has a lot of stock, or if they have like 4 to 5 stock and they only have a few cards left in deck and you know there's CXs in there. This can be really good. And this card doesn't care about how much your stock your opponent has, but if they're really compressed or if they have a really small deck and there's CXs left in there, this can mill them out and burn a bunch. And this is a finisher that doesn't need a CX to work, so like I said, sometimes you have trouble getting to your CXs in this deck because you don't play any like cantrip effects or whatever. So if you don't find your level 3 CX, you can just heal up and then use this to kind of chip away at your opponent. I actually haven't used this all that much, to be honest, because with how much sustain the deck has, because you can just loop these early plays so easily, most of the time your opponent's hitting level 3 first and then they're dumping most of their stock. So like I actually haven't played this at all, and I've played over like 10 games with this deck, so yeah, I don't know. Might cut it for something else, but it's just good to have. And then for climaxes, obviously you're playing 4 book and 4 choice. Yeah, that's it for this deck profile. I hope you enjoyed and it inspires you to try out this deck. I think it's very fun. The deck's actually quite hard to play. There's a lot of decision trees that you make and it can be quite technical, so I've actually been playing quite slowly when playing this deck, but I think I just need more practice. If I made any mistakes, please let me know. I'm still really new to the deck, so maybe I got some effects wrong, or maybe there's other cards that I could play that can help improve the deck. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Peace.